Today's Cosplay Con Talk episode is sponsored by Moco Queen Color Contacts. Don't forget to use my code Wayne for 10% off at checkout at mocoqueen.com. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. How's it going, everyone? Wayne the Unknown here, and welcome back to another episode of Cosplay Con Talk, where we basically discuss everything pertaining to the cosplay community and conventions. With it being the spooky season, and I'm sure everyone's familiar with, the spooky season, everyone likes to tell horror stories, scary stories. But this time, we're going to do something a little different. I'm joined here by Bob, aka One-Eyed Cosplay, Consul Cosplay, and a guest you see here every now and again, Cat Valentine Cosplay. And they're going to be sharing their each individual story of cosplay and convention horror stories to moments from something that just like, did that actually just happen, to, yeah, okay, this is a little out of place. Just know this is their own personal experiences. Don't let their experiences deter you from going to conventions or cosplaying. I just want to make that quick, you know. Um so since Kat, you've not been here in a while, what was the very first time you ever experienced a cosplay or convention horror moment, or as I call it, a WTF moment?
Oh my God, probably my first con. Um, so I literally, let's see, what was this? 2012, I think. So I was a baby. I was 16. I was walking around. I was just enjoying myself, taking everything in. And this is when the Black Butler fandom still was really huge.
Oh God.
Yeah, exactly.
I you can see you can just
So
see
so you know
console
where
just
this is
like, oh,
going.
like I feel like they know.
So y'all know where this is going. So I was very into that at the time. That was like my main fandom. And I was cosplaying Grell. Um and I had and I keep in mind I was a minor at the time. I was 16. And that's like very clearly indicated on my badge, and I'm just walking around doing my thing, taking things in, and I have this adult Sebastian cosplayer come up to me and start like hitting on me.
Even
Uh,
though even though Sebastian despises Grow with every fiber of his demon being.
yeah. And they start just like role playing with me, and I'm just like this awkward little 16-year-old who's like, "Oh my gosh, I've never been hit on before. What the fuck is happening? Oh my gosh." And
That's your
I'm
one
just
F word,
like,
Cat.
"Oh gosh, I'm sorry."
It's your one F
Get it out
word.
of
I'm
the way early.
You see any more F words, it's get everyone again. Cat, the F bomb queen, everyone.
yeah, I'm sorry. I have a potty mouth.
Your
We'll
one
try and
F
get you
I
a
don't have a
F
cameo.
good
word.
filter.
We'll try and get you a cameo in the next Deadpool movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Um,
get like an air horn every time you cuss.
yeah, exactly. So, they're just like touching my face and kind of like feeling me up. And, I'm just like, like role play was a really big thing back then. So, Grell, being Grell is like super into it. And it's like, oh my, I'm so flustered. Woo, woo. And then I kind of like leave this interaction and I'm like, okay, well, it was nice to meet you. And I keep running into this person throughout the weekend. And that's like the only cosplay that I had. So I like wore it a couple times. And this person at one point started, came up to me and started grinding on me in
Fucking
front
what?
of like other adults and in front of like my mom, because my mom was my chaperone. And my poor mom, like, wasn't sure what to do because she's like, I don't know if this is the culture. I don't know if I intervene. What do I do?
No, you intervene.
Yeah. And I'm just like sitting there and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And this person I found out later kind of had a thing for children. So I'm just like, ugh, I feel so
That's
gross.
disturbing.
Yeah. But yeah, that was just such a fun interaction and, just such an interesting time in that fandom. So yeah,
It doesn't help that Black Butler's coming back with a new season.
I know I'm fucking terrified. Like, part of me is like,
God,
oh,
the
yeah, I
second.
know. I'm interested to see like what they're gonna do with the new season, but I'm also terrified for the resurgence of the fandom because I was in the trenches, you guys. I was in the trenches.
That's messed up. One, gross. Two, Sebastian hates Grill with a passion. It's three. It's Grill in the series that tries to hit on Sebastian, and cosplay does not equal consent. I don't care if you see your favorite, and this is a little tangent. If you see your favorite character at a convention, approach them as you would any normal human being. Don't approach them and think, "Oh, that's my favorite character. I'm going to role play with." Like, no, approach them, ask a question, and if they say no, respect their authority.
Mhm.
It's just no matter what their age is, always be respectful and mindful.
Exactly. It's not hard. I
It's
mean,
just
like,
it's
I
just
think
sad
a
when
lot
a
of
grown
people
ass
are really quick
adult.
to go, oh, the culture was different back then. And yes, it was, but that's not an excuse to just like go up and
No,
touch people
the
inappropriately.
days of glomp circles, yaoi paddles, and all that crap is behind us. I mean, there's always could be a new convention trend, but like
For sure.
the fact that adults have no respect, but kids are, that's one thing that's understandable, pending. But an adult, you feel like, okay, your mind's fully developed. You should know, hey, I see my favorite character. I'm not gonna like do shit like that. It's just, and I'm sure we all can agree
Mhm.
here that we're all adults here. We're all mindful of cosplayers, young or old.
Exactly.
Like, respect their boundaries. If you can't do that, you probably shouldn't be at a con.
Yeah, no, if you can't okay, controversial take here, but if you can't differentiate fantasy from reality, you probably shouldn't be going to cons unless you have a chaperone with you.
Jeez, or as I call him, the convention exit buddy. Um, Next up, Consul. What is the most outrageous cosplay or convention WTF horror moment thing that you've ever experienced in your cosplaying um history?
Oh, I have two that are really kind of neck and neck. Um, I'll go with probably one of my first horror stories. Um, Not the first like horror story that's ever happened to me because it was very similar to cats and that I was like being hit on when I was like literally like 12. Um, but probably the next one to that is it was my second cosplay ever. So this was like I want to say 2010, something like
Oh
that.
wow, just when like cosplay was becoming more mainstream in the US.
Yeah, yeah. So this was I want to say 2010. I was cosplaying from D Gray Man. And
I love
me
that series.
I'm actually getting a D Gray Man tattoo on Friday. So I'm really excited.
Yes.
Nice.
Um but me being me, I can't at the time when I was younger, I was like, I can't be one of the main characters. Psh, I have to be some weird side character that nobody knows. So I decided to be Cell Roland, and no one knows who that character is except for me because I was obsessed. But it's this little playing card, and there's like a little guy that's inside of the playing card. Um, yeah, that's what I decided to cosplay.
Oh, is
I'll, I'll I'll send you photos. But
is this the guy?
yes, that exactly.
Oh, that looks scary as shit though.
Yeah. So for my second cosplay ever, I decided that I wanted to do that. And so I created, with the help of my dad, because I was literally only like 13 at the time. I created this box that went around me with insulation foam. It attached to my back with like a backpack that we like cut up and like bolted to the back. And so I was completely enclosed in this box, and I had PVC pipes as like jail bars. And I just popped them in and out to kind of get in and out of the outfit. And then I stuck it on, stuck the backpack on. And so I was just this gigantic walking box. Um, and I wore like the jail uniform and everything, and I made my own mask out of like cardboard and duct tape. It was very much like 2010 cosplay, but it looked really cool at the time. And I was really, yeah, I was really proud of it. And like I said, I had help from my dad, so it was really big and larger than life, and I loved it. And the D. Grayman fans really, really loved it because it was obviously something that no one would ever see before. But wearing just the backpack, it was a little bit too top heavy, so it would lean forward and hit my shins. The bottom part would hit my shins as the box kind of leaned forward. So to counteract that, we also put a belt in. Well, the style of belt that we put in cut off the circulation, the blood circulation to my legs.
Oh.
So
Ooh.
I walked around a 3-day convention. It was KomoriCon. I walked around KomoriCon for 3 days wearing this costume because I only had like one other costume, and this was like the new big thing. So I kind of wanted to just wear it the whole convention. With my circulation cut off. So by the end of the convention, I had lost all feeling from my waist down for over 3 months. And I never told my parents.
Oh,
my god.
Did you ever happen to tell your parents?
They did eventually find out, but it wasn't until I was like years later, like so many years
I'm
later.
gonna say, if you haven't told them, they'll know now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ouch.
What was
Yeah.
what was a
was
lesson
rough.
what was a lesson you learned?
If it hurts, take it off and
Well, I
take a
mean,
rest from it.
or go back to your hotel and change into something else.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone's not familiar with Consul, they do like to go above and beyond with some of their cosplays, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm sure you've learned since that experience to like if it's starting to get uncomfortable, like you said, take it off.
Yep.
And I take you haven't cosplayed Sil Rowan since.
I actually wore him to the next KomoriCon next year, but only for one of the days.
Oh, so
And
you
I
learned,
took much more frequent breaks.
I was gonna say you learned your
good.
lesson with them that year.
Yep. Yep. I wore him the next year, and I took a lot more breaks. And a couple people had like recognized me from the year before, and there was this one cosplayer that had printed like a photo album from the year before and was having cosplayers that they recognized sign the photo album. It was really
That's
cool.
pretty. I would
And
love
so
to see that. I would love to see
cool.
that.
it was awesome. And it wasn't just like a book with like photos slid in. It was actually like professionally
Oh,
printed.
like almost like a scrapbook in a sense.
Yeah, it was really professionally printed and professionally done. So it was all of the photos that they had taken from the year before. And they said that they had been doing it for like a lot, so many years. And so I got to sign their book like the next year because they
That's
recognized
pretty
my
cool that
cosplay.
they had like a cosplay autograph yearbook thing.
It was so cool.
I would love to see that at
I love
cons. I mean, I've seen
that.
like people like I know people nowadays do like the whole if they can find like for example if they find one Naruto character, it's like okay, could we find any other Naruto characters or could we find the same Naruto cosplay? That's pretty. At least you
Mhm.
learned your lesson though from that.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely did.
I'm gonna say I don't think anyone wants to see you at a con, and next thing you know, you lose all circulation for 3 months.
Yeah, it was bad.
Bob, any cosplayer convention moments that are have basically been pertaining to this panel, as I should be calling it now.
Oh, I have so many. I'm going to start with the first one and the worst one. I warned you ahead of time that most of these were going to be largely comical in nature rather than
I mean,
horrific.
some horror stories have some comedy in them.
Yeah, this is the exception because this is one that really kind of got to me. It has to do with this cloak, which I've used as in my cosplay as the Shadow.
I remember.
This one I got through a sewing pattern from Reconstructing History. And I'm going to double check and make sure I have that one right before I go much further with this. Because I wrote all about this under the sewing pattern review. Let's see, and let me make sure I get those. I have this right. Of course, I have my. Let's see, but the sewing pattern is all by itself a horror story.
Oh no.
It is, in fact, I'm double checking on this to make sure I have this correct. But yeah, Reconstructing Histories, the Inverness Cloak. The sewing pattern is a horror story. Everybody who responded to what I put on sewingpatternreview.com, which is a site I do recommend, by the way, has had similar experiences with the sewing patterns they have gotten from Reconstructing History. There are a lot of companies that I would recommend. This is one that I recommend steering clear of. Their customer service is non-existent, and that includes if they get back to you. They never did get back to me, but somebody else said they had a problem and they basically refused to give any assistance. In my particular case, there were steps that were about as clear as mud. There were things that were contradictory, things that didn't match up with the actual pattern. I tried following it step by step and word for word all the way through, and it got to where I'm going to pull this back over here again, and on the shoulders here. I don't know. I don't think I could hold this close enough to actually see it. But anybody wants to, if I happen to be wearing it sometime, and somebody wants to take a look at it. But here at the shoulders, the needle had the job of going through about 20 layers of fabric,
Oof.
and my brother C6000i could not handle that. The gears stripped.
Oh God.
So while the fabric cost me about $30, getting a new sewing machine costs another $150. So that's $180 cloak, and that's why I continue to wear it, wear the Shadow periodically. It's been taking a break now, but about ready to come back. Do not get patterns from Reconstructing History. This is the garment that broke my sewing machine.
Oh my God.
I take it,
So
I'm sure everyone else has had that issue or something that they were working on. The machine just pretty much, as Bob stated, that it just basically ate.
yeah,
It
and this was
destroyed
at that time. This was like the second sewing project I had done. It followed the boxers that I wear for Captain Klutz.
Oh no.
So
I
this is like
imagine
number
that was not
2.
fun.
But now we can go into the lighter side of well, I'm going to do. Let's see. I think I'll do this one first. I think I'll do my 6th Doctor story first, and the spats. First of all, I wonder. I noticed something with both Colin Baker's 6th Doctor and John Hurt's War Doctor, which are the two versions of the Doctor that I cosplay. And they're the only ones that wear, well, one of the 6 wears spats, the second wear gaiters, the difference being that that gaiters come up along the thigh. But they both, when I was in marching band, I buttoned my spats on the inside, but these guys buttoned it on the outside. And so I ended up doing a lot of acrobatics to try and get those together. I actually popped a button off of my War Doctor gaiters when I wore that at Rose City this year, but in the case of that costume, it's a feature, not a bug. But when I debuted my 6th Doctor cosplay, I ended up popping a button and not noticing it until I got home. So I asked the hotel and I asked the venue, and there's no chance of finding the button. So I talked to the woman who made them. She's on Etsy. Her shop name is Passion Desastre. I'll type that into the chat here so Wayne can put it up. She is a very kind and delightful lady, lives in Spain. So the postage takes a little bit to get, but she does wonderful work.
Nice.
And when I asked her about, where could I get buttons that would match these that I can do it, and she just sent me 4, no charge.
Nice.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And she also made my War Doctor gaiters and did what she could to make those match as well. So she's a very delightful lady, and anybody who needs spats or gaiters or anything similar for the costumes, and don't want to make, if you're not making it yourself, that's where I would recommend you turn to first. But I got the buttons after searching around for that, and then I went to put them on, put the new button on, and I couldn't find the spat that it was supposed to go to. I could find the one that had all 3 buttons, but not this one. So I hunted around for it all over my apartment, like 4 times, looked in every drawer, every pocket, every little thing that I could find, looked through my suitcases. No luck. Finally got to where I was packing up for Rose City last year. And I said, to heck with it. I'm going to wear this because Sylvester McCoy was going to be there. And I wanted to wear that. And he said, well, nobody's going to notice. And if anybody notices, they won't care. Because it's just one of those things. So I'm just going to deal with it. So I went and I had a good time, and I came back. And then the next week I had to go up to Portland again for a denture appointment. And so I went and got ready to catch the Max train to go to the dentist, and stuck my hands in my pockets.
Oh no.
It was in my jacket pocket the whole time. I just hadn't put my hand in there to notice it, and then there it was. And so I let a nice little word pop out, and when I got home and I put the button on, and I haven't worn the full winter 6th Doctor outfit since then, but I wore a summer version at Mid Valley Comic Arts Expo this year. So there's that. But then I can give you a whole list of what's gone on with Jedi Elvis.
Next up, Kat, do you have any more stories?
Oh my God, I have so many. I'm like, where do I start? I can tell you about the time I had an ex-friend try to sabotage another friend's cosplay.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Are you still with
So
us, Consul? Sorry, I saw the.
Oh,
He's Spanish. He must have got cut off or something.
Yeah, no, I'm still here.
Oh, you're still there. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I saw your screen go. I was like, where'd they go?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll be
okay.
right back. I'm still here. Don't worry.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
But yeah, Kat, continue how. So you had a friend, ex-friend, try to
Mhm.
sabotage another friend's. What?
Yeah, yeah. So to give some context, I think this friend and I had kind of been like going through a bit of a rough patch. Um, and it was what it was. And we were going to this mutual friend's place. And we were all working on cosplays together to go to this con we were all going to together. Um, and ex-friend, we're going to call her B. Um, B is notoriously really, really bossy and just likes to have control over things. And she just has a really, really hard time when she doesn't have that. And it was so much so to the point where B was not working on her own cosplay. She wanted to take control over everyone else's projects. And she was actually running behind on her own cosplay that she wasn't even working on because she didn't know how to do it. Because our mutual friend was basically doing it for her. Because B didn't know her shit. And mutual friend who we're just gonna call them we're going to call them A. Uh, A had basically been doing like all the work for B. And B wasn't being the best about it. They were they were using a lot of weaponized incompetence, and we're like, oh, it's so hard. I don't understand how to do it. And A was like, oh, here, well, let me show you. Let me help you out. And B was like, it's too hard. I don't understand. And then I think A was kind of starting to get a little fed up and was like, okay, well, I need to work on my cosplay now. And so then B was kind of like pouting in the corner a bit and kind of trying to micromanage everybody. Um, and then A was having some trouble with their cosplay and came to me and was like, hey, I'm having a really hard time sewing this zipper. I know that you're really good at sewing. Do you think you can help me put this zipper in? And B swoops in and is like, oh, no, here, let me put this zipper in. I can do it for you. Here, let me help. I know how to sew. And so A is like, hey, that's really sweet of you, but I know that you're running behind on your project. And I know that Kat needed to take a little break because I know that her back was kind of sore. And I also know that Kat's really, really good at sewing and has a lot of experience with sewing. And I don't want to be rude, but I know that you don't have as much experience as Kat with sewing. I would like Kat to help me, please. And B didn't like this answer.
Ooh.
So B was like, okay, well, let's make a compromise. How about I pin the zipper in for you and Kat sews it? And A, not wanting to cause any conflict, is like, okay, yeah, let's just do that.
Let's give the baby
Because,
their bottle,
of course,
basically.
yeah. A just doesn't want drama at this point and is like, okay, yeah, let's do that. So then B goes and purposely pins in the zipper wrong. And so then me and I was dealing with like some medical issues at the time. So I was dealing with like a lot of like severe back pain due to the job that I was working. Um it was not a good situation. That's beside the point. So then B goes, purposely pins in the zipper wrong, hands it to me. And I like wanted to take a quick look at it, and B's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Just sew it, just sew it." And I'm like, okay. And because I'm in pain, I'm like, I just want to get this done. So I go, I sew in the zipper, and then I bring it over to A and I'm like, here, A, I finished sewing it. And A's like, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let's go and zip this up and do a quick test fit. And we go to zip it up and we realize that we can't zip it up because the zipper's been installed wrong. And B is watching this and B's like, oh, well, I guess Kat did it wrong because she doesn't know what she's doing, so she must not be very good at sewing. Here, why don't I take the project? And is trying to yank her cosplay off of her. And so both A and I are like, whoa, 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 whoa. Here, first off, we don't yank things off of people. And two, it looks like this was pinned in wrong. And so then B is getting flustered and is like, no, this is preposterous. I think she just sewed it in wrong. She must have done something wrong. And I'm just like, no. I know for a fact that I put this in incorrectly. This is just a pinning error. A is backing me up on this. And B is just having a meltdown. And she's like, well, no, I think this was just done wrong. And you should just let me do it. And she's just freaking the out. And I'm like, here, I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna take this out and I'm gonna fix it. I'm really sorry. I'll just take care of this. Here, why don't you work on your cosplay, okay? Everything's gonna be fine. So I go and I'm just like over the situation at this point. I go, I seam rip it, I put it back in. We go, we do the test fit, and we do it in a closet so that B can leave us
away from nosy noses.
Yes. And I'm like, I am so annoyed with this situation. And A is like, I am too. B is being such a B right now. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry all of this is happening. And A is just like, yeah, no, I'm really frustrated with the situation. But, let's just get over this and hopefully she'll work on her own stuff. And I'm like, I hope so too. But it was wild to me that somebody would go and sabotage another person's cosplay just because they had to have control over the situation and tried to make my craftsmanship look bad.
They try to sabotage you, but they failed miserably. They rolled a 1 when they were hoping they would roll a nat 20.
Exactly. And I'm just like, okay.
Oy, oy, oy.
It was like just so much unnecessary drama over a zipper. And I look back on it and laugh now. But at the time, I just was like so stressed out. And I was like questioning myself. And I'm like, did I do it wrong? Oh my God, did I do it wrong? But now I just laugh and I'm just like, silly B.
Oh my God. I think I'm not going to call this convention horror stories and moments because it seems like I'm just going to call it WTF convention, cosplaying convention moments. Consul, up next, any more you would like to share pertaining to cosplay, the WTF cosplay or convention moments?
Oh yes, I have a lot. So this is why my screen was off because I went to go grab some old badges.
Are those Komoricon badges?
Oh no, they are not. They're for a con that no longer exists. To my knowledge,
I feel like I know this con.
I think I know this con too.
To my knowledge, it only ran 2 years that I know of. It was 2009 and 2010 that it ran, and it ran over New Year's. It was a New Year's con.
Okay, maybe I don't know this con. Kat may know.
So, I went the first year, and it was 2009 into 2010. So it literally happened over New Year's. Here's my lovely laminated badges.
What's that say?
Is that
MEW?
Mew?
MewCon. Yep.
Oh, MewCon.
I have never heard of that.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, it was very small and it ran over New Year's, and I'm pretty sure it only ran for these 2 years. Um, yeah. So the first con, so this was my first year cosplaying, and I think it was my second con ever. I went to KomoriCon and then I went to MewCon. And I think those were the only two cons that I went to when I first started cosplaying. So I was 12 at the time, right? I would have been 13 because it was going into New Year's, and so I was 13 at the time. Um So I went the first year, and that's kind of where that weird adult was flirting with me, and I was literally 13. But that's not the point of this story. And it was a normal convention that I could tell. You know, it was me, and my older sister went with me as well, because my mom was like, we're not gonna have a 13-year-old walking around, right? So, which was smart. And my older sister was really cool and chill about it. However, the next year, um, I did go by myself, so I was 14, right? Um, here's the lovely badge for that
It
for
looks
the next
update.
year.
It looks updated, like in color.
Yeah, and then they had little like dog
Wow.
tags.
Oh, I mean, the dog
Oh
tag
my god,
looks
the dog
cool.
tags!
Yeah.
The dog tags look cool.
Yeah, it's a, I
So,
always had a
I've
good
seen
dog
that for a con
tags.
before.
This is just a piece of history that I will never. It's so funny. I love the fact that I own badges for a con that no longer exists anymore.
I can't
I
imagine why it no longer exists.
Oh boy. Well, I think that's where my story takes place. Um, I'm not quite sure if I was part of why it no longer takes place, but I wouldn't be surprised. So I heard that it was coming back the next year, and I was so excited because I had so much fun the year prior, and I was like, sweet. I'm gonna go to MewCon again. And my parents was like, oh yeah, you had a great time. Like, and nothing bad happened. So like you can go by yourself, no biggie. We'll just go with you to like get your badge, check you, and everything like that. Drop you off. And this was again early cosplay days. So it was a lot more, I guess, socially acceptable to have your mid-teens kind of going to conventions by themselves.
Sounds about right.
You usually just had to write like your parents had to write like a letter or sign an agreement saying that it was okay that you were unsupervised, basically.
Right.
KomoriCon did that with me for until I turned, I think I was like 16. I had to get like parent permission. Um, but that's not the point. So I went to MewCon. My parents dropped me off. There was nowhere online on the website or anywhere that said that I needed like a permission slip. So I go in and I give them my student ID because I don't have like a driver's license because I'm 14. Um, and then they take a look at it. The person at the counter takes a look at it and then like calls someone over, hands it to someone else. They take a look at it, hand it back, and they're like, "Oh, okay, no, they're fine." Right? And so I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of weird. Like a student ID got me in last year, like shouldn't be that big of a deal." So I get my badge and I'm going through this con and I'm having a great time. But I'm like throughout this con, I'm kind of noticing these things. And I'm young, naive, like I'm young, right? But I see a lot of like more risque outfits. I see a lot of people with like phallic lollipops, things of that nature, walking
Oh
around the
no.
con. And um very few people my age. Um so I'm going through this convention, and I'm having these like weird experiences where I walk into like a panel room and I'm going to the panel room, and then these like two like young kids, definitely younger than I was at the time, probably about 10, like 6 and 10, were there. And those were the only people younger than me that I saw at
Or
this
hopefully
convention.
they were with their parents.
I hope so.
Um no, but I'll get to that once
Oh
I finish
no.
my story. So they weren't with their parents, and they were in this panel room that I was going to go to, this panel. And then they leave, and then one of the panelists is like, oh, thank God the effing kids are gone. Now we can get this panel started. And I was like, oh,
What?
okay. I was like, weird that someone just like dropped an F-bomb in this panel for this convention. But I was like, I had no other like weird experiences for panels or anything like that. It was just kind of overall this general vibe of weird. So I'm going through and I get to the third day and I come to the third day and then I go to the closing. Oh, I won the cosplay contest for that convention, which no longer
Congrats.
exists anymore, which was really funny. But that's beside the point. So I go to the closing ceremonies because they wanted the cosplay contest winners to go to the closing ceremonies. And so I went to the closing ceremonies and they were like, hey, these were like the winners, like, woo, cheer them on. And then the announcer was like, also like swearing a ton. And I was like, this is very odd. Like, and then he says over the like speaker, he's like, we're all having a great time because this con is rated R. And I was like,
What?
what?
Okay, that's my second cuss word. I'm gonna have to bleep that out. But what the? Okay, that's 3. I'm done. I'm done.
So
And you say I'm the F-bomb queen.
so
Yeah, you're ahead of Cat now.
Yeah.
That's
So
rare.
Maybe 2 more then.
Continue the
I
story.
accidentally. So the second year, MUCON decided to host an 18 plus only convention because it was over New Year's. So they wanted to have like alcohol and things like that. So I accidentally snuck myself into an 18 plus convention.
And they didn't
And
even say
I
on the
was
website or anything?
14. No, it did not.
That's on the
But
con, by the way. That's on the con.
apparently, this is what I had heard after the con, is the 2 kids, the 10-year-old and the 6-year-old, or they looked roughly about that age, they were the convention owners' kids.
What?
So that's why they were at the convention. And apparently, I shared a name with one of the kids, which is why I was accidentally snuck in, because they saw my student ID, recognized the name as one of the convention owners' kids' names.
And they thought you were the kids?
And they thought I was with the convention owner. So they let me into this con.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
dear.
What?
That's kind of
Again, I don't know if it is 100% true that those 2 kids were the convention owners, but that is the rumor that I heard. And about my name, that is also a rumor I heard. So I'm not 100% sure if that is true, but I did accidentally, when I was 14, get into a 18 plus convention and also
I can't imagine why
win
this
their
con.
cosplay contest.
I can't imagine why this. I mean, there are 18 plus cons that have been mentioned on this channel, and they literally state they are 18 plus. If you don't mention your con is 18 plus on your website or your Instagram, whatever, I don't care what your platform is. Make sure you let people know it's an 18 plus con, so parents don't mistake it. I mean, I don't blame your parents because again, it wasn't stated that the con was 18 plus. The con
Yeah.
should have it's on the con to let people know, hey, this is an 18 plus event, or hey, there's gonna be this 18 plus thing at the con. Kids aren't allowed in this part.
Yeah. Well, again, this was the convention's second year to my knowledge, and the year prior had been all ages. And again, I was also 14, so like I'm not looking for that sort of thing. I was just like, ooh, a convention. So it could also have been on me or something. I don't know.
No,
But
it
yeah.
doesn't sound like it was on you. It was the convention's fault for not stating that they were that they were going to be an 18 and over convention for that second year.
Yeah, it was just so wild because I had been slowly noticing all of these like weird things, and everyone was super nice. Like no one was mean or anything. And I had no like weird interactions to me. Like no one was creeping on me or anything like that. Which everyone was so nice. Everyone loved my cosplays. Like it was all around a great vibe. I just accidentally snuck into an adult convention.
That's
that-
so iconic. I love it.
Oh, but
Yeah,
that's
it was
definitely a
very funny.
that's definitely again, there are cons that, you know, specifically say they're, and I even tried looking up MuCon we were talking about. I could not find anything on it
Oh,
online.
it is gone. It is beyond gone. Like I said, I have
Wiped
a
from the face of
relic.
the earth.
You
I
have the
have
two
a relic.
you have the two badges that, like, hey, there was this con that happened all these years ago, and they know. I mean, I can't imagine why they no longer exist, either funding or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's something, all right.
Something. Yeah.
Oh, wait, and that's why cons, if you're good at, and again, for those who want to run a con, specifically 18 or older, make sure you make it known on your website, your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, your TikTok, whatever your, you know, other website names I'm not going to say, because this is a PG-13 website mostly. I mean, a PG-13 channel mostly, but make sure your con specifically says either 18, only 18 up, or family friendly, or if you have a specific event at the con that kids aren't allowed to say, you know, this is an 18 and over panel or an 18 and over lingerie show or lip sync or whatever. It's not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get this is like early 2000s when 18 plus cons were just mid 2000s where 18 plus cons were just slowly becoming a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, to accidentally go into an 18 plus con and not, it's just weird how like they just suddenly changed for the next year to
Yeah.
be an 18 plus. I
It was sort of-
imagine if they had, and this is just my theory thing. I imagine if they kept it non-18 and plus, it'd probably still be going on. I feel like them being 18 plus is what kind of potentially possibly ruined them for having any future cons.
Oh, probably.
I'm
Probably.
I'm guessing
Not
someone
unlikely.
I'm guessing someone reported them or something, and you know they no longer exist.
Could
So
be.
MuCon, if you're seeing this, you know,
Go ahead and try
Yeah.
again, guys.
make it not 18. Make sure you state that it's gonna be 18 or plus.
Yeah, I would love to talk to whoever ran MuCon just so that I can like make sure that it wasn't a fever dream.
Oh
Right.
yeah, no. If anyone's gone to MuCon and to from 2010 to 2011 or whatever, 2011 2012, leave a comment or
Let me know. Let me know.
or message one of our panelists. Bob, on to you now. Any more WTF cosplayer convention moments? Because this is no longer this is gone into the funny side now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this makes it a good opportunity to go into the saga of Jedi Elvis. And this is an ongoing multi-convention, incident story that is not quite done yet. But it's going to start with my debuting at let's see, when was it? NorwestCon in 2022. And I wore that one there the first time, which I just said, because I debuted it there. And you know, you've seen, I think all of you have seen at least a picture of Jedi Elvis.
Mhm.
If not seen it in
I know you're
person.
still trying to convince me to Jedi Master Elton John.
Oh yeah. And everybody who's watching, if you support that idea, leave a comment on the channel.
If it gets more than 10 likes, I'll do Jedi Elvis. I mean Jedi
Hell yeah.
Elton. Jedi Elton. Yeah.
Jedi Elton John. 10 likes and I'll do Jedi Elton John.
Yeah. I'm trying to get a bunch of musical Jedi together every Sunday at Rose City. Anyhow, at NorwestCon, when I first wore that, the tabards kept coming off of the shoulders. At one time that was so difficult I had to have somebody else come along and pull it up over my arm and pick it back on my shoulders. This is a this is my only fully commissioned cosplay. the one that I had made to my specifications. His vendor on Etsy does it. Goes by Far Far Away Outfitters.
Oh, I've
It's
heard of
actually
them.
yeah, they're good.
They got a lot of good reviews on their
They
stuff.
and well deserved too. I
Far
think the
Far
problems
is
that I'm having with
Far
this
Far Away
costume,
Outfitters.
Far Far Away
I'm
Outfitters.
gonna link
Yeah,
them. I'm gonna link that below.
yeah, do that along with Passion Disaster. But yeah, I'll give them a positive review because the problems that I'm having this I think are pretty specific to myself, including this. So anyway, what I did about that for the next time I wore it was
This is the
buttonholes. That's them. Yep.
okay. Yeah,
They're
that's a like 5 stars and over almost 40,000 reviews. Nice.
and well deserved
4,000.
too.
Continue your story, Bob.
Okay.
Sorry.
I sewed buttons onto that and put buttonholes on the shoulders of the tunic so that I could just button it in place, button underneath, and then they would stay in place. So that problem was solved. I've not had that problem since then. But I came up the next time I wore it was to same year SummerCon. I was watching to say SummerCon. The tabards were fine. The trousers, not so much. Now it's about a half mile to a mile to walk from the hotel where I was staying at, the Hilton, up to the fairgrounds where it's kept. And I started going over there. The trousers, the pants started coming loose. They just, they it's a tie at the waist, which is a fastening that I personally despise. It's not the first time I've worn pants that fasten like that, and I really did not want to repeat, but that's what it was. So I just tied it as well as I could, and of course the knot came loose, and of course the pants started coming loose, and so I thought, okay, just let me get to the underpass going under the freeway, and I can just kind of stop and retie it. Didn't make it that far. I was about a block away from the overpass when I suddenly felt them go down around my knees. And fortunately, I had the tunic covering up my underpants. So I went ahead and pulled it up, tied it up, and tied it extra tight around my waist. And I had to retie the knot a couple of more times that day before I finally got back. And I was holding my waist on the way back to the hotel and got out of it. And then I thought to myself, I will get a pair of suspenders to hold them up. So I got a pair of white clip-on suspenders wore underneath it. Since they're white, they'd be harder to see through the fabric if you even had the opportunity through the tabards and everything. So I put that on. The next wearing was at Emerald City, and let's see, the clips came out on the suspenders came undone twice the day I wore that. It's easy enough to put back on, but I had a different solution that I came up with later that I'll share. But the big thing was while I was waiting in line to ask a question at the Clone Wars voice actors panel, and they had like Ashley Eckstein and James Arnold Taylor and D. Bradley Baker and Matt Lantner were on the panel, and they were fielding all these questions. I ended up being the first. I ended up being, let's see, I picked a seat close to the microphone so I could be sure to be close to the front of the line. I was the first person in my line who didn't get to ask a question because there were like 15 people got in front of me. So I didn't get to, but I was there and I was waiting with my belt in place, and my phone was clipped to the leather belt that goes around with the sash. And of course, like I said about knots, I tie a knot, it's going to come undone. The knot started to come undone on the belt and started sagging and sagging and sagging. And by the time I got to the front of the line, it was like almost down to my knee. I felt like a Wild West gunslinger with my phone as the gun.
Oh no.
And the and of course the sash, that's supposed to just wrap around. So I ended up stopping, and I just tied a little overhand knot in between the two ends to keep it from falling down. But that was quite frustrating. So I ordered a smaller size of the belt for wearing the next time, which somehow got somehow I ended up this last time I packed the old one. But I did a similar trick on the sash. It goes around twice, and these two buttons go on the inside as it wraps around, and then it wraps around again, and I have a single button for the second wraparound that goes into a button that's in between those first two buttons. And that worked fantastically. I also decided that the clip-on suspenders weren't going to work. I got more buttons, and I put them on the inside of the trousers to put a button in suspenders, since I had to do that with my Sixth Doctor trousers anyway. And that seemed to have worked, except that I packed the wrong suspenders when I went to Rose City this year. So I packed the wrong belts and the wrong suspenders. But things still held together okay this year. But I'm going to try the whole thing again next time I wear it and keep you updated on that. But this is just like, I do not know how everybody else keeps them in place without having buttons or snaps or Gorilla Glue or something holding it in place.
Who knows? Well,
But
I feel like
it's nice solutions, by the way. I could you can use these things as just a tip for holding things together if you have trouble keeping them together.
nice. Well, I'm glad at least you know the solution for next time. And I think when it comes to cosplays in general, like if you know you can fix it, if you can fix it, that's good. I mean, everyone will have one cosplay mishap, like, oh crap. Well, I mean, like with Consul with the
With the
circulation thing
backpack. Yeah.
with the backpack. It
I was able to
happens.
figure out problems. The thing that makes this kind of WTF / convention costume horror story is that it's like a different thing each time serially. So I'm kind of wondering, if I get the right suspenders, right belts the next time I wear it, what else is going to go wrong?
Well, hopefully,
Hopefully
hopefully,
everything just stays together.
yeah.
That sounds so stressful.
What Kat said.
I didn't quite catch what she said.
I said, hopefully everything stays together. That sounds so stressful.
Yeah, I'm hoping things stay together, including me.
Hmm.
Kat, on to you now. Any cosplay WTF moments?
Every time I put on a cosplay, it's a WTF moment. Oh my gosh.
my gosh.
Oh, I have a really good one. Oh my gosh. Actually, this happened a couple of years ago. Um, wait, cosplay specifically or like convention?
Well, it's both. I mean, the panel's called WTF cosplay and convention moments.
Okay. Okay, I have two. Actually, I have one that's convention related and one that's cosplay related. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go, boys. Okay. Okay. So we'll do, since you said cosplay, we'll do cosplay first. Okay. So I made like this pretty detailed cosplay like years and years ago for a cosplay group that I did with some friends. And I can't remember if I told this story on the podcast or not before. But anyways, I'm telling it again because fuck it, we ball.
All right, you've had more cuss words than I have now. That's gonna be fun to bleep
You have
out.
had 3. This is
No,
truly.
no, that's 4. That's 4. I counted.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's put up a numbered counter on the screen.
Oh no,
as it goes on.
I'm going to have to, like, every time I bleep out, it's just, F-bomb. I'm gonna have to redo the F-bomb counter again. I haven't done that since the Halo series. Anyway, your WTF cosplay moment, because
Okay.
we got one more for you, one more for Consul, and then one more for Bob, and then and then we'll do the wrap up, the link wrap up.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. So I believe this is when Roko no Yusha came out, and so some friends and I
I'm looking it up right now. Continue.
I
yeah,
love
Roko
that
no
theory.
Yusha. I know, I love that series too. I cosplayed Nashatanya. And my friends and I, we all did like this big group, and it was super, super fun. And this is back when my cosplay skills were
Oh, I've seen.
not as good.
I think I've seen. Can I show? Okay, I can't show a full picture because obvious reasons. But
Fair.
is this?
Yeah, that's fair.
I think I've seen your cosplay on Instagram of her. I think.
Yeah. That's
I
who I
love that.
was.
It's so good.
But continue.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a fun series. So I was cosplaying Nashatanya. Um, and I had made the outfit. My cosplay skills weren't as good as they are now. And so we were having fun. We were palling around at the con. We were doing our group stuff. We were having fun, and we decided, hey, we're all getting thirsty. Let's go take a little Starbucks break. And I was like, that sounds great. I'm having like some costume malfunctions anyways, so that's like a good chance for us to all go sit down, and I can like make some adjustments on my cosplay. And in the series, Dasha Tanya has like this little cape on like the back of her shorts.
I remember the story.
Shorts.
You said it during your cosplay. I think you said this during your first interview when you first came on here. I think this is what you talked about. I think.
Yeah,
All right.
we
For
get
those
in there.
for those who don't know, continue. Sorry, like when you were saying, like, I know this story now.
Yeah. So we get into the Starbucks, and the ribbons that are holding my little butt cape on my shorts come undone. And these shorts are very, very short. Like these are booty shorts. So I have my ass cheeks out because my butt cape came out. So my ass cheeks are out to this entire Starbucks full of people. So I am on display to everybody in Starbucks. And I'm just standing there completely embarrassed. And then my friend Gary swoops in with his cape and covers me, and my face is bright red. And I'm like, oh my God, what just happened? And everyone's like, you're good. No one saw anything. And I know they're all lying to me, trying to make me feel better, but I know everyone saw everything. But that was the time I had my ass cheeks out in Starbucks. So that was just so fun, so iconic for me.
It's a little like me accidentally dropping trow on one of the busiest streets in the Tacoma area.
Oh my gosh, yeah, sometimes.
Elvis, yeah.
Sometimes sometimes it's just not good to accidentally moon an entire Starbucks.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, like, they're welcome because I have a nice butt. But anyways, um,
Oh.
the convention related one. I was at a con up in Canada. I was with Annie Revo.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. It was very fun. And I think this guy actually gained like a reputation for like what a little weirdo this guy is. Um and I had gone into a panel. I don't even remember what the panel was about. But there was like this Naruto cosplayer who was maybe like one or two rows in front of me who just kind of had like this kind of weird off-putting vibe. And I had heard him like kind of talking to some people and he had said something kind of weird. I couldn't fully catch what he was saying, but I noticed some people scooted like a couple seats away from him. And I was like, huh, that's kind of weird. But I was like, okay, not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm just going to enjoy the panel. Um, so then it came time to like ask questions, right? And then this like Naruto guy raises his hand. And I don't remember the full context of what he asked, but he was like, oh yeah, like would this character ever like kick Naruto in the crotch? Um, and of course the panelists are taken aback and they're just like, huh? What did you say? And this guy was like, yeah, I just really want a cute cosplay girl to kick me in the crotch someday. And the room goes silent.
What?
And everyone's like, okay, moving on. And I'm just sitting there, like, trying to process what I've just heard. And I'm just like, okay, this is really weird. And I ran into that guy multiple times that weekend. And every time I ran into him, all he wanted to talk about was finding a cute cosplay girl to kick him in the crotch. And I ran into like other friends throughout the weekend, and I'm like, hey, did you guys hear about the Naruto who wants someone to kick him in the crotch? And they were like, oh, you heard about that guy? And eventually he like got kicked out, but now there's this Naruto guy somewhere in Canada who all he wants is a hot cosplay girl to kick him in the crotch.
Oh
And
God.
I hope he never gets that wish because what a weirdo.
That just reminds me of, and this is no hate or disrespect, but that reminds me of when you see those Lady Dimitrescu cosplay or those cosplayers cosplaying not really skimmy characters, but like they'll have the sign like, if you pay me $5 or $10, I'll slap you, spit on you, step on you, you know, pay me 20 and you can call me mommy. I don't know what the hell. That kind of what reminds me of that where like
Yeah, please don't do that because that could get you in some very dangerous situations. Like I'm not trying to slut shame anybody or anything like that, but like some people do not know boundaries and they will try to push those boundaries and that can just be very, very unsafe. I know it's like a fun meme and everything,
that guy would seriously end up
but
getting hurt. He
yeah,
would
like
he
you
would
can
end
put
up getting
yourself in
hurt.
some very dangerous situations or you can potentially get arrested, like depending on your state's laws. I'm
Yeah.
not saying this to kill your fun or to kill your vibe, but please, please, please be
Also,
safe and be careful.
if some cosplayer was willing to do that to him and he got hurt, the con can get in trouble for that because someone got hurt while at that con.
Exactly.
Just think before you act, people. That's just
Mhm.
a thing, I think we can all agree on is if you're gonna do something or you want to do something at a con, think about the consequences, like should I actually do this or should I not? Because the best thing is to not do it because it could end up getting not only you in trouble, but the con potentially get in trouble. And next thing you know, people are going to hear about it. It's like, oh, if they allow this, I'm not going to go to that con. Who knows what else they may not pay attention to. Stuff like that.
Exactly. And it's going to the thing is, it'll become a big game of telephone. And then the story's going to get twisted. And it could start with something as simple as, oh, yeah, this person like said that they wanted to be kicked in the crotch to, oh, yeah, this person got murdered and overdosed on drugs and died. And just, you don't want that.
No,
It's
no, no,
going to
no,
get
no.
messy.
It's not. We do not shame cons on here whatsoever. I mean, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Consul, your last story for the night.
All right. I have two. Did we want a story about a terrible group cosplay experience or about a cosplay malfunction?
Oh, the group cosplay experience. I want to know that. Anyone else on this?
I'm
On
a nosy, messy bitch. I want to know. I want to know about the terrible group cosplay experience.
Bob, do you want to know about the?
I'm the dissenting vote. So
All
I
right,
wanted to
all
cosplay
in favor of the terrible group cosplay. Aye.
I
I yield.
Okay. Bob said aye too. It counts.
Fair enough.
But I only
Okay.
get one eye to you guys is two.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's
Continue.
funny.
Continue.
Okay, so this was at a Sakura-con. I don't remember
of course, it
which
was
year.
SoccerCon. It's always
It's always
SoccerCon. I
Sakura-con.
swear.
Damn you,
It's always
SoccerCon!
Sakura-con. So, this was for a series that's very beloved to me. It's from an otome franchise called Uta no Prince Sama, and
Yes.
I
Uchu,
wanted to get to
it's called what?
Uta no Prince Sama, or
U-
Utapri for short.
Uchu no words. Come on, Google. Uchu no
Um,
Prince Soma.
Sama, Sama,
Oh,
Sama.
okay. Oh, it's based. Oh, I've seen you cosplay from this, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
cosplay
Cute series.
a lot.
Yeah, you cosplay as a guy who looks like Finney from Black Butler.
I cosplay Show.
I'm sorry, he
So,
looks like
with-
Finney from Black Butler, okay?
He does.
This
He
is
does.
so mad because that comparison is so true.
this is the one you're talking about.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Oh
no
my
disrespect, but he
God.
looks like Finney from Black Butler. You can't tell me I'm not wrong.
It's true. It's
No,
100%
it's
true.
That's what's so funny.
Oh God. Okay, I had my comedic moment. Continue.
So it's otomes in and of itself aren't a very popular genre. And Utapri specifically is kind of difficult for people to get into because there is no English translation for the video games.
There's
There's
not. Oh.
only
It's
there's
straight.
only the anime, and there is an anime. I personally am not the biggest fan of the anime. I'm a huge fan of the games though. So overall it's not a super popular series, but it is like I love that series to death. And I managed to get together a group for SoccerCon of most of the main 7. I had everyone, I think, except for like 2. Which for a series that's not that popular, it was both Stars and Quartet Knight, so 11, and Haruka, so 12. Out of 12, we had, I think, 10 out of 12 characters.
That's not bad considering.
really good.
For a series that's not popular at all. And it was one of my dream cosplay groups of one of my dream like sets, like one of the matching outfits. And I was like, okay, and everyone lived all over the Pacific Northwest, so super far north into Washington, super far
Ooh.
south into Oregon. So to make it go super smooth and easy, I custom constructed a pattern that was easily sizable up or down that I emailed off to everyone. And if someone couldn't sew, I made their outfits for them. And all I asked, and I made all of the accessories, all of everything. I made the
Like
banner. I made everything.
You had it down to a T.
Yeah, I had made
Man, you
everything
really
for the
carried
outfit.
the group.
Yeah, well, because it was one of my big dream groups, so I didn't want it to fail at all. So, I had custom ordered from a website these gorgeous like military style like cording like that went on the shoulder of these outfits because they were kind of like military-esque. I'll send them to you, Wayne. They're really just gorgeous, beautiful outfits. And so, with the help of a couple of my friends that actually were local to me, we busted out all of the accessories for these outfits, like and for so many people and a bunch of accessories, and it was crazy. All I asked is for them to wear white pants and either black or white shoes that looked nice. Some form of dress shoe and some form of like white dress pant. So that was it. I even provided probably about 4 of the wigs for this for this group. So we had, again, 10 out of 12 characters. I had made this huge banner that went with the outfits. All of the accessories. I made 3 of the outfits and I provided, I think, 4 wigs off the top of my head from what I remember. Got a photographer, booked a photographer, got a location secured for our photo shoot and like everything. We did, all I wanted was a photo shoot, then people could change. I didn't care. Like I just wanted nice photos for this group. So the day comes and I was going to drop off because I had made a cosplay, a couple of the cosplays, and I had dropped off a couple of them already. But there was one person that I hadn't dropped off their cosplay yet because they weren't coming in until the day of the con, whereas the others I had dropped off the day before, like for during badge pickup. So I'm trying to get in contact with this person and they're totally ghosting me, right? And so I have like for the whole entire first day, I've been carrying around this outfit with me the entire first day. And then the entire second day I've been carrying around this outfit for me. And the third day is the day, I think it was either the second or third day that we were wearing them. But we were only wearing them, but our photo shoot was kind of later in the day. Some people were like changing into the outfits like partway through the day for the photo shoot. So I still had this outfit and I've been calling, I've been texting, I've been messaging on Instagram, all over the place for this one person that I hadn't delivered their costume to. They end up just not showing up, right? And I'm fully in my costume, ready to go. We go to, me and my 2 roommates who are also in the group. We Uber to the convention because we were at an Airbnb. We get there, not a soul is there. No one. It's just me and my 2 roommates. And then one person starts trickling in, one more person starts trickling in. It's a couple minutes past, then like 10, 15, 20 minutes pass, and we still only have like we only have like 5 people there. The photographer comes late, and by this time the sun is in a terrible position for where we want our photos taken. Then almost an hour after we decided to meet up, more people start coming, and it's not until about an hour and a half later that we have the whole group together, except for the one person who just ghosted me. So we had 9 out of the 10 people. One of them forgot their wig, so they had to buy a wig at the con. One of them forgot their accessories, so while we were taking solo shots, we were swapping accessories with them, so that they could have all of the accessories on their outfit. Half of them showed up drunk and brought whiskey and wine with them into the convention during our photo shoot. And then the other half showed up high because they had taken edibles before showing up to the photo shoot. So we had no good photos at all. The lighting was terrible. The photographer was brand new to photography, and which is fine. Like, I don't mind giving new photographers a chance, but like they didn't know how to work with the lighting change and everything. So all of our photos were blurry. Again, like I said, half the people were high, the other half of people were drunk. People didn't have the right wigs or wig colors because they were just kind of working with what they had. A couple of people didn't have accessories, so we were swapping accessories out because they had forgot theirs. And a lot of people like never paid me for the outfits that I made. And I lost in total probably about $5,000 with that photo shoot.
Crap.
Oh my
With nothing to
god.
show for it.
I get people have like nerves of doing photo shoots, but like, and I get some people need a little courage or something, but like to show up intoxicated or stoned out of your mind.
Mhm.
Oof.
And it was the entire group except for me and my 2 roommates were some form of intoxicated, whether that was drunk or high.
That's
So we
fucked
had
up.
6 out of the 9 people that did show up out of the 10-person group that we were supposed to have were intoxicated.
Oof.
And like I said, wigs were missing, accessories were missing. Everyone was horribly late, including the photographer. It was just rowdy. No one would get their act together, no matter how much I tried to corral them. It was so bad. I have like war flashbacks now to that group.
I was
That's
afraid
a
this was going to
literal
come out where
nightmare.
that 10th
Oh my
person that
God.
ghosted you was dead.
No, they just completely. And then I ended up one of my my favorite cosplayers that I had followed, who's also into the series, ended up flying in from I don't think they're quite East Coast. I think they're like Central US. They ended up flying to SoccerCon, and this was their first SoccerCon. And I just gave them the outfit. I was like, "You like this series as much as I do. You're one of my favorite cosplayers, and this person never showed up to get their outfit. So here's a free cosplay for you because
Yeah.
I
Here you
want it
go.
to at least go to someone that will enjoy it."
hmm
I mean, it
Uh,
sounds like they enjoyed it though.
So yeah, it was a
Shit show.
rough time.
Oh.
Oh my God.
At least, I mean, it sounds like at least in the end, one of your favorite cosplayers you've been following for a long time, like joined you, which was nice.
Oh no, this was after the
Oh,
photo shoot or anything.
oh,
Yeah, they were in a completely different cosplay. I just happened to bump into them. I was like, "Oh, I've been carrying this around all day, and you like this series, and you're one of my favorite cosplayers. So let me just
Yeah. You
shout out to
want
you."
it?
Yeah, I was like, it doesn't fit me. There's no need for me to have 2 of them. And yeah, a lot of people stole a lot of the accessories too for it, the like custom accessories that I had made. So, and
Oh my God. I
about
would
half the
cry.
people, about half the people ghosted me and blocked me after that photo shoot. And yeah,
Ew.
that's ugly.
That's not
it was
right.
great. It was
That's
Can I say
big bad
one more
time.
F-bomb?
no, Cat. You're cut off. You are banned. Last but not least, Bob. Care to share with the class?
Okay.
Yeah.
I have mentioned in the past that I have kind of the cursed thing going with footwear. I talked this is a story that is in that category that I have told before about 2022's C3 GameCon. Before I go into that, I misspoke earlier when I said that Jedi Elvis is my only um, commissioned cosplay. It's also Amphibian. That was made for me by Spandex Wear at spandexwear.com, who also did my hoods for Dr. Midnight and Captain Klutz. And, excellent people, excellent guy to work with. But anyway,
Nice.
2022's C3 GameCon, redneck money foo-foo. And I decided to sign up for the cosplay contest. I had no illusions about winning or anything. It's just all I wanted to do is kind of show off and maybe get some good laughs out of it. And of course, there's prejudging on that one, and I wanted to do okay with that. I wanted to do well with it, but it so happened that about 20 minutes before the prejudging, my appointment on the prejudging, the zipper on the back broke.
Oh
And
no.
it didn't just come loose, but it was like this came completely off of this. The seam at the bottom had ripped, and I could not get it to rethread.
Oh no.
There's actually a video of me on the Gazette Times website that I'm sure you could probably grab a clip of at where I'm worrying this thing. Now, it took me a good 45 minutes to put back together. Now, remember what the time frame was when I said that it happened?
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes before prejudging. So I had to go in with that loose and hope that the judges either didn't notice or didn't care. I think it probably was both, because I was just in. This is a collected cosplay. This is like 15 items from 12 different sources, so that's not going to get any big maker's prize. But I was glad to do that, and I got it on. And after I finally got it together, it did hold until I think it was until I was on my way to catch the bus home. And the costume was still cool enough that the bus driver came to a nice stopping spot and wanted a picture.
Oh,
I was the only one on the bus, so she just said, "Hey, can I get a picture of that?" So, but to have something like that just before a contest, even if I'm not planning to win, I'm going to still be on the stage in front of people.
it's never fun, and I'm sure everyone here has had that where you're getting ready for a cosplay contest, just right before you're about to go on stage, it snaps, or right after you do the cosplay contest, that's like when your thing just
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
like
what my other story was.
Yep.
Many of those moments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
never ever ever fun, I'm sure. I think that should do it. I know originally it started out to be a horror story, but then like after Bob's, and it's just like, okay, I know some of y'all are gonna have some WTF moments. So I think I'm gonna change it from cosplay convention horror stories to WTF cosplay and convention moments. I feel like that's better. And I also, real quick, just I mean, I will show everyone here. I think I found the perfect pic. I mean, I'm gonna need like cosplay pictures from you guys of the cosplays we mentioned, but I think I found the perfect picture to go with the thumbnail when you guys send me your pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That's perfect. Oh my god.
The Halloween episode from our Orin High School Host Club.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
I love it.
That just it I feel like that just yeah.
Sums it up.
Vibes.
I'm pretty
no.
sure you have pictures of all the cosplays that I've mentioned.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Last but not least, as always, time for everyone to drop those links so people know where to find you. I just got to remember to add the links in the description below because I have a lot of other videos that I had not done that for yet. Starting with Kat, where can people find you on social media if they want to stay up to date with your cosplays or potentially want to take a picture with you at a con?
Of course, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and Twitter. Twitter and Threads are Cat Valentine Cos. Everything else is Cat Valentine Cosplay.
And also, real quick, I'm sure people are you going to KomoriCon this year as well?
Am I? No, I ended up not being able to go this year, but you can find me at Twin Cities Comic Con.
When's that?
That is actually coming up really soon. That will be the very beginning of November.
Well, this will be out next week, so well, by this be out. But if for those who are watching this, be sure if you're going to Twin Cities, be sure to look out, keep an eye out for Kat.
Yeah, there.
Consul, where can people find you to stay up to date with your cosplays, or potentially keep an eye out for you at a future convention?
So I'm Consul of Cosplay on everything. That is consul.of.cosplay. So Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all that fun, exciting, thrilling information. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, side note, Bob, I was one of the judges at that C3 GamesCon.
You mentioned that
Yeah.
the first time I told that story too, and I think did you even know about the zipper before I mentioned it? That
No, I didn't notice at all.
No, yeah, I didn't figure
No,
you
you're good
guys
there.
did. But still, y'all did get a good laugh when I did the voice. Them there field mice better just look out.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, we've definitely really enjoyed that one. But yeah, Consul of Cosplay on pretty much everything.
Nice. And I know you are going to KomoriCon this year, so for those who are watching this and plan on going to KomoriCon, be sure to look out for Consul of Cosplay. And last but not least, Bob, where can people find you to stay up to date with your cosplays and also potentially keep an eye out you for any future con?
Mainly on for that kind of stuff, mainly on Instagram. You can also find me on Pinterest and the platform formerly known as Twitter.
I'll still call it Twitter.
Yeah, so will I.
I refuse to call it X.
As the joke says, that's the only thing that gets dead named on here is X. We call it Twitter.
Yeah, well, it confuses me because I have a bunch of pinned tabs on my browser, and the icon for that one is almost identical to the one for Xfinity.
Oh no, that is very close.
Yeah,
But that's
I have them separated quite a bit. Anyway, so you can find me on those 3 platforms under my name as all one word, Bob Greenwade, and I also have Linktree as One-Eyed Cosplay, which has a bunch of links to other things, including my cosplay fabric designs on Spoonflower.
nice. And also, Bob, you are potentially going to KomoriCon this year as well.
That has gone to about a 50-50 right now. I'm not sure. If folks, I'm not 100% sure what my Saturday cosplay is going to be, and I'm keeping Sundays under wraps, but I'm pretty sure Friday, if I go, that will be my redneck bunny foo-foo.
Nice. And you all know where you can find me. I myself will be at KomoriCon as well to do a convention showcase for them since I got officially approved and everything. I'll be casual on Thursday, Friday. Be sure to keep an eye out for me as Luigi, because I'll be with a Waluigi, and then the last day I will be Saitama from One Punch Man wearing his Opie hoodie. I just gotta shave my hair for that. And y'all can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and also Discord. All the links are in my link tree as well. I think that should do it. As always, I'm Wayne the Unknown. Until next time, thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for watching.